Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. Today's video is going to be my winter fragrance list. So these are fragrances that I would recommend that you go and check out in case you are trying to find something to wear this winter. I have chosen 10 fragrances. Some of them are similar to each other and I'm going to give you a choice. So this listing is a bit different. It is not like top 10 fragrance, then 9 and then my favorite number 1. It is not like that. It is a listing of different fragrances because, to be honest, some of these fragrances are very different from each other that a comparison or evaluation is not really fair. I'm giving you something that is different out of the box, something that is more youthful, something that is more spicy, woody, formal, casual, so all of these things in one listing. And of course I'm going to explain more as the video progresses. And please be patient with me, this is a designer list. I do not review niche fragrances simply because I really cannot afford getting them. Each sample costs a lot of money, not that I'm against them. I would be happy to smell and own all the fragrances in the world. But now, as I'm working with my budget and my nose, we are sticking to designer fragrances still. I know that I'm missing on a lot, but that's life. So if you'd like to stick with me so that we could grow together as a community here, you are more than welcome. Without further ado, let's get to the listing. So I'm starting today's listing by 2 fragrances that I think would be great for someone who is still young, probably a college student or a university student. Let's say if you are under 30 years old, probably 25 or so, you would find these fragrances very good actually because they possess this youthful quality to them. They are a bit sweet. So let's talk about these fragrances. The first fragrance is one that I have reviewed recently on my channel. It is a new release. This fragrance is Jimmy Choo Man Intense. I'm going to leave a card here up so that you could check the fragrance review if you have missed that or if you are new to my channel. Anyway, this fragrance is great. It is a sweet, spicy fragrance that is attractive and somehow playful. It lasts so well on the skin. I'm impressed with the quality of this fragrance in terms of longevity and projection. Probably longevity more than projection, but it is actually so good, would suit you if you are still in your 20s. Probably you do not want to venture into stronger kinds of fragrances. Another fragrance that I'm planning to review soon, probably in the future. If you want me to do that, please leave a comment. This is 212 VIP for Men by Carolina Herrera. This was released in 2006, but I have just been testing it because I received a sample of this with a purchase, of course. And I thought that it is really a good youthful winter fragrance. It is so boozy, so probably if you want to wear it, do that in the evening, not so during the day, you know, because someone might ask you, isn't it a bit early for Scotch, mate? Anyway, I think this fragrance is good. As I mentioned, it is a bit youthful. It is woody, boozy, sweet fragrance, so it is not as spicy as the Jimmy Choo Man Intense. So now I'm going to talk about some different types of fragrances. They are not like the mainstream winter fragrances for men. And I think both of them are unisex, and I personally, me and my partner, enjoyed wearing these fragrances for the past couple of years consecutively, and we enjoy each for a different reason. So the first fragrance I'm going to tell you about is actually by Lush. This is called Karma, and although the bottle is nothing fancy, you know, Lush makes an amazing quality fragrances in terms of longevity and projection. And to be honest, they are a bit expensive. I think I bought this 30 mils for about £32, so it is not really cheap. Anyway, this is winter in a bottle, but not in terms of its being so spicy and sweet. This is so citrusy, herbal, and it is a bit infused with a very raw honey scent. I'm not sure if you have tried this soap, the Karma soap by Lush, you know that it just opens your nostrils. It travels up in the air and it leaves your bathroom smelling amazing. The perfume is the same. It is a tiny bit sweeter than the soap. The soap's more citrusy. This is great. Orange and honey with some patchouli. This fragrance is different, but it is great. I love it personally and I cannot wait to wear it because sometimes, to be honest, I get bored of extremely spicy and sweet fragrances. I find them to be a bit repetitive. So Karma by Lush, I think it would be great if you fancy the change. Another one that belongs to the same category of being different. This is another unisex fragrance by Molinard. This is Vanille Marine. And this comes in an eau de toilette concentration, although the lasting power on the skin is amazing. If you could imagine vanilla smelling salty, this is how this fragrance smells like. It is not sweet, not spicy, it is not watery. It is vintage, but in a good way. Smells different. I wore it last year and even around Christmas, and now every time I smell it, I just remember those times I wore that much last year. I think this season I would enjoy it. Very different. Moving to another category of fragrances, we are talking about tobacco leather fragrances here. I have two with me and I think you could choose either of these and not go wrong with any. Both of them are actually very good and are among my favorite. The first fragrance is, of course, no surprise, Carolina Herrera CH Men, the original formulation. I heard a lot of people saying that the new reformulation is not bad, it is just different, it is more leather, less sweet. I'm not sure. If you could find this, it is amazing. Sweet, but at the same time spicy, so masculine, attractive. Love this fragrance. However, I want to talk about another one. Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb. I know that all of you know about this fragrance and probably many people rave about this fragrance. Well, if you manage to get your hand on a vintage bottle, it's a shame that we call a 2012 batch vintage because this was the time it was released. They very quickly reformulated the fragrance. They didn't make it weaker. It is still as strong, but they just played with the ratio of the notes so that it now smells like an English Christmas cake, if you know what I mean. If you need to hear more about my opinion on this fragrance, please leave me comments. I would do a review dedicated to it. Anyway, the reason I am mentioning this fragrance today is because you could definitely substitute it if you find yourself not a fan of this formulation with the other one, the Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. Heavier on tobacco, not as sweet as this one, still sweet, and it has an ambergris quality that I actually prefer and appreciate in the fragrance. That's why I'm mentioning this. If you have the vintage bottle, 2012 batch, the one I have here, that was the best purchase ever. I do not know how I stumbled across this. Now you either say stumbled upon or came across. Anyway, both of these terms happened to me with this fragrance. Serious brain fart today. I can't speak because I'm so excited to be bringing you this listing, obviously. Spice Bomb by Viktor & Rolf, the Extreme, is the one that I'm recommending here in this video. Long story short, why can I just say this from the beginning? Okay, moving on. I'm actually talking about two similar fragrances, but I do not understand why some people praise one that much and ignore the other that much. These two fragrances, one by Dior, one by YSL. The first one is Christian Dior Homme Intense. I still have the 5 ml decant. Of course, this is the reformulation, nothing original or vintage or things like that. Still smells good. It is like spicy iris, a tiny bit sweet. That's it. The other fragrance, also I have a decant of it, is the La Nuit de l'Homme L'Intense by Yves Saint Laurent. I have reviewed this fragrance. I have reviewed both of these fragrances. I'm trying to find the links and link them either up here or down in the description box if you want to check them later. I like this. I think, in my opinion, it is a bit softer than the Dior Homme Intense. Less irisy, more violet. I not know why people do not like it. It's great to be worn in the winter. It is a good scent. Probably people complain about projection. I hate strong projecting fragrances. I hate with a passion. I appreciate long-lasting fragrances on the skin. I do not like someone to come from across the room and scream with fragrance. I do not find this classy at all. Either one of these might do the job for you. If you have worn Dior Homme Intense for so long, you are bored, you want to try something new, I'd highly recommend that you try the La Nuit de l'Homme Intense. I think you could either pick this or that. They are not like clones or dupes, but they belong to the same family, you know. Probably someone would prefer this over the Dior Homme Intense. For me, I prefer the Dior Homme, the Eau de Toilette, over the Intense one. But anyway, that's a different story. Both of these could work in the winter. So now we are down to the last two fragrances that I'm going to suggest today. You notice that this video is a bit different, so I'm not ranking them or rating them. I'm giving you alternatives and putting them in categories. So yeah, if you want a fragrance that is a creamy, sultry, sweet, woody, not spicy at all, I think you will love this one. Armani Code Ultimate Eau de Toilette Intense. So it is not an eau de parfum, it is still an eau de toilette, but it is intense. For those of you who wonder what this means, it means that when you create an eau de toilette, the concentration of the aromatic compounds is usually between 5% to maximum of 20%. So when they say eau de toilette intense, it means it has a higher percentage of aromatic components, so probably around the 15% mark, something like that. Most of them come with 8 or maximum 10. Anyway, grapefruit aniseed opening, then it warms up to this vanilla, sultry, creamy, dreamy, romantic smell that lasts so well on the skin and projects the right amount. So not offensive at all. Great, I think, for day and night. Love this fragrance. If you haven't tried it, it is not as sweet and spicy and in your face ambery as the Profumo, which I like as well. But if I want to recommend something from the whole Code series, this is the best. Yeah. And the last fragrance I'm going to mention today is what I consider to be the sister of Valentino Uomo. If you were waiting for Valentino Uomo Intense in this listing, I didn't include it because I didn't review it yet. That's why. However, this fragrance is a great alternative, still a very solid winter fragrance for someone who is more grown up. This is more a classic, formal, chic. This is still have Decant Bulgari Man in Black, the original Man in Black. Great all-around fragrance, nothing at all wrong with it. Leather, tobacco, boozy, spicy, not much sweetness, still enough. It has a bit of iris. It has everything that you would like in a gentleman fragrance. So yeah, that is my last pick for today. I gave you 10 fragrances. All of them I thought about really for a long time, and I've been trying these fragrances for the past week. Now I smell like a concoction of iris, leather, tobacco, sweetness, honey, all of that jazz. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed spending time with me and that you found this listing really helpful. Please stay tuned to my other videos as usual, and of course I'll speak to you very soon. Until then, as usual, please be safe. Bye.